Two Tasmanians have had a life-changing experience doing what they love best. Kathy Mason and Steve Barker are professional counsellors and 2 years ago were asked to help set up the first major telephone counselling service in Sri Lanka. They told 730's Lucy Shannon the volunteer roles were the most rewarding they've ever taken on.
Welcome everybody.
Kathy Mason has been with Hobart's telephone counselling service Lifeline for more than 20 years. She now trains counsellors.
What happens if I'm on the phone and I know that the person on the other side of the phone is about to commit suicide?
That's a really good question. The client has rung Lifeline. They're not too sure about suicide. While they may have some plans in place, there's still an element of doubt.
With so much experience, she was singled out to take her training program somewhere she thought she would never go. An island about the same size as Tasmania, but home to the same number of people as the whole of Australia.
I now call Sri Lanka the second most beautiful island in the world, second to Tasmania.
Sri Lankans have endured more than their fair share of pain and trauma through decades of war and extreme poverty. To most, the problems seem insurmountable, but one Sri Lankan-born Australian is determined to make a difference. Jatha Devapura set up a charity foundation called CCC, which stands for Courage, Compassion and Commitment. The impetus was a visit to a cancer hospital 8 years ago in Sri Lanka's capital, Colombo.
Seeing the children on the floor with the mother taking treatment because there was a lack of beds, I guess was pretty much a no-brainer to start something or fundraise towards giving them a place to stay.
The place, CCC House, is now a reality. Last year it opened its doors in Colombo to cancer patients and their families. Jatha Devapura then set his sights on the mental health of Sri Lankans.
Look, I've gone through depression myself, and it's something that I had in my mind to start something. And I think that's probably my personal motivation. We wanted to be the biggest and the best telephone counselling service in Sri Lanka.
How Lifeline in Hobart got involved is a story of chance meetings. Mr Devapura met the Tasmanian-based president of Lifeline International at a function, and the rest is history. Kathy Mason and her colleague Steve Barker jumped at the opportunity to train the Sri Lankan volunteer counsellors.
I guess my first reaction was, wow, Sri Lanka. And we didn't know what we were going to go into. Even the day before we left, we think we had 6 trainees. We finished up with 86.
And it could be physical, it could be hitting and punching.
Lifeline Tasmania's training program is highly regarded and few changes were made. Once the language barriers were broken down, progress was made quickly. The two Tasmanians are in no doubt that the service, which has been running for 18 months, is having an impact in a country where the suicide rate is double Australia's.
It does make a difference. They had a little interview in the paper, only a couple of paragraphs, and the calls tripled that day. It makes a difference.
We've had 30 years of war. We've had a tsunami in 2004 that took 35,000 lives in a matter of 10 minutes. We've had the floods recently. And all those things, I think, cause a lot of post-traumatic stress.
Jatha Devapura is working to break through the social stigma attached to mental illness in his home country. To help, he's signed on one of the country's most loved figures as a CCC ambassador, Sri Lankan cricket captain Kumar Sangakkara.
As the ambassador of CCC Line, I am proud to be part of an initiative that is aimed at improving the well-being of all people of Sri Lanka.
Both trainers sing the praises of the seemingly endless energy of Jatha Devapura.
He's a V8 supercharged. He just goes. He never stops. He doesn't sleep.
Kathy Mason will head back to Sri Lanka in June to continue training and help expand the service. In the meantime, both say the experience has been life-changing.
It's made me more compassionate, more thoughtful, more thankful that I live in Tasmania and what a peaceful place we live in and how blessed we are.